The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Money Masters. And now, your Money Masters, Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes.
Welcome, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We appreciate you being with us, and I hope you have your saddle, folks, because jump on that hoss and it's giddy up, baby.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a bunkin' bronco out here. There's no doubt about it. And market-wise out here for folks, we have Dow's down 306, Nasdaq's off 63, S&Ps are off 29. You get the gold up 31. That was testing the highs. Just tested it 3 times thus far today. Can't get over it. We'll see whether it can.
It's looking for 2,000.
It's looking, but
just a little stretch.
Yeah, no, it's $25, nothing. 62 cents. Silver's up. We got bonds up 25. And if you want to see something that's just deviant, no two ways about it, is that you get the dollar green.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And, of course, what this is all about, folks, is that, and bottom line, folks, is that we made a bottom yesterday. My take is we made a bottom. Short-term bottom, yes, but we're going up. And this is as deviant as you can get, meaning coming down again. Because, see, what you have here is that you got an acceleration down. Well, first off, intraday yesterday, they had the acceleration down.
Absolutely.
Intraday. Couldn't break it apart. Now what you have, it is coming into it again. And you can see in the futures, you know, we look at a lot of different things here, folks. But if you actually look at the futures, and the 10-minute, how it's coming into it, all it's doing is coming into the breakout area from yesterday on the 10-minute, and it's doing it with lighter volume. It can't handle it.
Yeah,
so it's going to get interesting here. So what did you think about Bernanke?
Well, you know, it's not what I thought. It was what the market kind of, you know,
okay,
right? And you know, I did my show after our show together.
Right.
And we had a caller that was calling in, was taking a look at the bond trade. Okay. You know, and we just simply, and one of the things that I said was, be careful about watching the first move. The first move is usually a lie. Right. Okay, that's the tell.
No, I know.
You know,
I know.
And so you know, in the first move, you know, not the first few minutes, okay,
yes,
but shortly after that, the first move going down, I was like, okay, well, this is actually what I wanted to see. Right.
You know, I know, because they couldn't bust it apart.
Yeah.
You know,
and then I had to run out of the office for a bit. Right. You know, and then I was looking at my phone, and the last time I looked at the phone, you know, market was up 200. By the time I walked upstairs, up 420.
I know.
I was like, oh my goodness,
amazing.
Yeah. What did I miss?
Yeah. No doubt. Well, you know, my take, no doubt, is that I like the idea of mid-2013. And particularly, folks, I like the idea because then people can make decisions. And when I'm talking about people, and I said to Steve earlier, I says, I'm definitely biased on this deal. The reason I'm biased is that I'm a real estate bull in a big way. Now, and this is separate than being biased, because you know, people who say I've been biased in the market, bullish, bearish, and that's not a fact, because I go where the volume goes.
Right.
In this particular case, I have made a decision that, to me, real estate is a great value right now, is a great deal right now.
And it's the market that has to really take off. It's one of the things that has to get accomplished in order for the U.S. economy to get going.
Yeah, because there's so many jobs in it.
Yeah,
and it's cash flow positive. See, that when I'm looking at it, as soon as you get cash flow positive, I've seen this 3 separate times in my life, okay, in the last 35 years. Yeah. You get, real estate gets, well, 2 different things have to happen, and we have it now. You can get cash flow positive properties real easy, and you can still buy properties 30% under what you can build them for. Right. That is a big number, folks, okay? And that's what makes bottoms, you know. So I like the idea that if you're investing, and I had said to Steve a little bit earlier, I says, the only thing that can really hurt real estate in a big way is rates going up very quickly. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's so now what you know is that, okay, that's not going to happen. You know, Steve and I were just talking. You know, it's put the short-term bond traders out of business for a few years. No doubt. You know, that's tough, but there's no doubt they're out of business.
And we're really not in a situation where what Bernanke can do is fire a shot that says, well, you know, long-term rates are going to go up, because you're not going to be able to start pushing people into housing. You're not going to be able to close the deal because of some fear that's out there. Not yet.
Say it again now.
That you know, by trying to keep rates, you know, one way to get people to go ahead and buy a home is the fear factor that if you don't buy now, the rates are going to go up.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't get me doing that. No, right.
And as far as where we're at in the game, you know, we're not there yet. You can't do that. You can do that as things start improving.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you can close the deal and rush the cattle.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. You got to feed them first. You got to get them going in. No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, but that's a long time that you can make decisions. You know, there's no two ways about that. So we'll see where it goes. Market-wise out here, let's look at this because we got the Dow down 408. So I'm going to bring up the SPY first and see where we are in the correlation. Yeah, we're not even close. So watch this. Now this is, folks, where you want to wrap your head around the top line number. When I say the top line number, the Dow is always the top line number, but the Dow doesn't mean the Dow doesn't mean a thing, okay? Because the bottom line is, well, it does if you're trading the Dow, but I'm looking at the SPY right now. And folks, to watch what the SPY is doing right now. So the SPY is at 113.42. Now, what it's doing is it's going into the 1420 bar from yesterday, 1420 hours, right? We had 54 million shares of that bar. So check this out. That's not the only bar, though, which is really neat that you're looking at. That's the bar at 1420. That's with the bar when the Bernanke came out. Okay, so check it out. So there's another bar that's right behind us, okay, and that bar, by the way, the price point on that bar is 113.81 at the high and 111.75 at the low. Okay, we're coming into that bar. The first bar down only had 19 million shares versus 54 million, and the second one you're coming down right now into that with 8 million. It's a joke. Okay.
There's been no volume on this move down.
No, it's perfect. You know? It's perfect, man.
And sticking out is the high volume that we had during the last 10 minutes of the day. Last 10 minutes, last 5 minutes, you know. So
I love being a short-term bull. I haven't been a short-term bull for so long. It's unbelievable. And I'm telling you, man, I do.
You know, and you know, and we're back to Suite 618. You know, our suite here. It's made a 0.618 retracement.
That's right.
You know, so
no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so it's gonna. There's a lot of opportunity out there, folks. What you do have to do is you have to be fast with your fingers. If we go over and we take a look at the Qs right now, what you have with the Qs are the same situation, folks. The Qs right now, you're down $1.70. It's going into that 1420 bar out there. And that's 16 million shares and versus 3 million.
Yeah.
It's a buy, folks. That's the bottom line. If you're out there day trading, you know, buy it.
You know, and on that SPY, I know for both you and I, we're going to feel a lot more comfortable when we get above the what looks like about the 120.73 area. That's where we had the last time we had some big volume in here, which was at about 4 o'clock on August the 4th. So, you know, it'll be nice when we clear that area.
The SPY. Let me. Hey, you know what I wanted to ask you? You know, Steve was showing me yesterday 120. What you found something when you were doing your studies, right?
Yeah.
So what was that line there you were showing me yesterday?
Well, that's on the Dow. So I went back and was taking a look at everything inside the Dow, and there was an Astro event that to my knowledge, nobody's actually done any work on. And so I went back all the way to I think the first one that I was able to pull up was 1931, and it's a 15-month cycle. And I was able to go through and take a look at, in between each of these 15-month periods, exactly what patterns were being made. And also how those areas acted as resistance and support levels. And many times these were not really at a swing point that we take a look at.
I'm with you. Right.
But what's really been interesting is how they have responded as resistance. In fact, I was preparing for I've got a 3 o'clock webcast today for all the subscribers. And that's one of the things that we're going to be taking a look at, which is combust. And taking a look at where we're at right now, as well as one of the things that I pointed out when I first started showing people the lunar strategy was because we were taking a look at where we had the full moon, new moon, the solar eclipses, and so forth. And I went back and I went back to history to take a look at when the last time it was that we had the back-to-back-to-back, but the exact same type of events. And what it did was it took us back to 1945. 1945, 1946.
Okay.
And when I took a look at that area, 45 to 46, what it also showed was that there was a huge run-up in the market from August up into the highs into the May timeframe, May or June timeframe.
Wow.
Exactly what we had going on here,
okay,
which was pretty wild.
Yes.
And so what I posed out there to all the listeners, to everybody, I made everybody aware of it and said, are we going to repeat the same thing? Because what it did was in 46 was it came all the way back down to those August lows.
Wow.
And look how quickly we got back close to that. So both you and I think this is like just the first leg down here,
right?
And we can bounce up, and we'll see where it is that we bounce to. But what was also interesting about that time period, and what I did last night, was I laid that other aspect that I found in there.
Okay.
And what was really wild was in 46, when it came down, that acted as resistance.
Okay.
I mean, like
so you get busted.
You really got to bust it. Now, what
you got to bust it up first, and you get it back down on the other side.
Yeah.
Right.
And what it did in 46 was at that point really held.
Right.
So it wasn't like I take a lot of the Astro stuff because I've got it all digital and drop it in on charts just to see is there anything there.
Right.
And then go back and what you want to it's not like you're looking for one occurrence. You're looking for
consistency.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, what all of a sudden last night was I was preparing for today's webcast, and I dropped it in there. I was like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, totally.
Because here's what I've been looking at now. What's critical right now is that we came through what should have been that resistance area a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Okay, on the Dow. And when we came through it with conviction
on the downside.
Okay,
right,
now,
that's right.
What that typically sets up is it typically sets up a bounce.
Yes.
Okay, now sometimes it's only about between a 0.32 and a 0.382 bounce. Now,
but you got to get through it with conviction on the other way now.
Yeah,
you're not. I understand what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, and so what if you take a look at this chart pattern,
right,
versus every other time that I saw it when you came through with. In fact, when I went back and took that and laid that strategy over the crash of '87.
Okay.
When it came through the day before, when it came through with conviction, it came down and it just underneath it. But
really?
The same long-range bar, yeah. And this is over the weekend. I sent this out to the subscribers and said, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just laying this on there.
Right.
Imagine if you knew this aspect and its importance.
Right.
And just use that and you track that on your screen.
No, totally.
And and then there was another time when we had the. When we had Operation Desert Storm.
Yes.
So it also worked the opposite way. So when you had this resistance point and you were coming through with conviction, what you could see was the bars as you were starting to move up. You had wide range bars.
Okay.
Okay. And then and that's the only time where I think we still have an open gap on the Dow was from Desert Storm. Okay. And it punched up through there.
Okay.
And it gave us all the information. So this is telling us now. I don't want to see it close below 10,965 today. If we do, we might have to switch positions, that's all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Listen, folks, the Dow is down 385, Nasdaq's up 79, S&Ps are up 38, gold's up 33, silver's up 62. You stay right there, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, we're coming right back.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Is the fast-moving investment world challenging the way you think about managing risk and return? You don't have to go it alone. Direxion's alternative strategy funds feature built-in tactical management to help you find clarity for the path ahead. Direxion Funds. I'm with X. To learn more about Direxion's alternative strategy funds, please visit TFNN.com and click on the Direxion Funds banner or call 877-434-9363. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direxion Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus contains this and other information about Direxion Funds. The prospectus should be read carefully before investing. To obtain a prospectus, go to direxionfunds.com. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. The use of leverage by a mutual fund increases the risk to the fund. The more a fund invests in leverage instruments, the more leverage will magnify gains or losses on those investments. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We get the Dow down 444, Nasdaq's up 91, S&Ps are off 46. And right now, folks, let's go over to our man, Mr. Larry Pesavento. Larry Pesavento, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, how are you this morning?
We're doing great, man. I heard you're at the airport. You're ready to get on that big bird and give us the next reports from Hong Kong, right?
Actually, Singapore is the first stop, and then Kuala Lumpur, then Hong Kong. But
awesome.
I'll be there in about 14 hours. The thing that I want to mention, Tom, is that if we go below those lows we made just on the 8th, we've got a real problem here. So don't get too bullish. This is the place where I just bought some myself.
Hey, I got my horns up.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I bought them at 28.5, but every time I've been on a plane, there's usually some wild thing that's historic in the stock market. So with this type of move, anything can happen. The thing that's important, Tom, is in between the 8th and the 9th, we had a beautiful AB equals CD correction where the S&P corrected 100 points.
Yes.
That was everybody. Yesterday they were calling this was the most monumental bottom since 1945, and other things I'd heard, in the news. And that might be true, but if we go below that point, that means it's going to be pulled down into the 17th. That's when we have that big combust date. That's where the big cycles are out there.
Okay.
There's 5 of them out there, so that's what I'd be.
Yeah, no.
Listen, Steve mentioned combust a little while ago, but it's an important one. And if we go below those points, that's where we're going to be pulled down to.
And the 17th is a long way from here.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's I think it's next Tuesday or something, isn't it? And anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But actually, it's a week from today. You had 10 and 7 and 17. Boy, I'm pretty good with the math, aren't I?
That's about 5 lifetimes away.
Yeah. Well, just be real careful here. It should stop right here. We've had some a nice correction. We're down to the 618 off of the first move, and so we'll see if it can hold here.
You know what's so neat, Larry, is that I think we got another two and a half years of really great trading back and forth. You know what I mean?
Oh, Tom, we got a decade of great trading. The only part that was tough is when that market went straight up.
Yeah.
From November through February, and when it was just basically a one-shot Corrigan.
Sure.
But since February 21st, we've been bouncing off these numbers pretty nicely. But now the volatility has increased. The volatility went on 7 times in 4 days.
Yes.
Had a 400% increase in 4 days, I think I heard, and that just means it's just getting started. There's something big out there, Tom. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a collapse of the dollar, the collapse of the euro, or whatever it is, but there's something that's going to be a monumental event that's going to make history, but I don't know what that is.
Now, Larry, in your work, if we go back, would you say that even the more important area to watch, if the market continues to move down from here, is that August 24th, August 25th time frame when we had those two? Right, if that gets taken out, isn't that like taking out, August 17, 2007? Isn't that kind of a similar?
Yeah, that's what I call the bread line takeout.
Yeah.
When you see that one taken out, there'll be bread line.
Yeah, okay.
The bread line takeout. Yeah. Well, I guess when we get to that 825 in about 5 or 6 months, it's going to be taken out.
Yeah, that's true.
The way this is going, it could be as I'm 2 hours over the Pacific.
Yeah, well, you're going to have a nice, safe flight, and
I'll be on tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be it'll be fun.
Yeah. Now, what is nice is that you're calling in right now. Like you say, the markets retrace all the ETFs back to the 0.618, and all on real light volume compared to yesterday.
Right.
Real light volume.
Yeah.
And this, what's so cool, folks? Well, it's not cool if you haven't been doing this for a while, but if you have been doing it for a while, I like to see this type of fear, particularly at bottoms, because what ends up happening is that the only people that will buy this are traders. I can't blame them, folks. You know what I mean?
Well, really, look at the people from yesterday. You had when all of a sudden you had the Dow push up 420 points.
Right.
You had a bunch of folks who probably went to sleep last night saying, "Why didn't I buy yesterday? Why didn't I buy yesterday?" Right. Then today you've got the market pulled back to the 0.618,
and they won't buy. No, because
the psychology is so important.
It is scary. It is. No, I know. Hey, listen,
well, just remember, you got to buy them when they're crying and sell them when they're yelling.
No doubt. No, hey, listen, are you doing workshops over there?
Yes, I'm doing 2 live trading. It's going to be fun. I'm competing against a Chinese trader and a London trader in live trading in Singapore.
Oh, cool.
In 2 days, and we each get to trade 3 hours a day for 2 days. There's a prize, but the prize goes to charity, which is good. And it'll be fun. Their methodology is certainly different than mine. And I have a workshop with a bunch of my students that I've had over the years. I go over there every couple of years just for a refresher.
Sure.
And we have a lot of friends there in Singapore, and it really is it's a beautiful city, and I get to visit with my good friend Jim Rogers. Now that's a joke, folks. I met Jim, but
listen, Larry, Sarah, and you have
a
great trip. Have a safe trip. Of course, we look forward to the show tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Good luck, fellas. You got a great show, by the way.
This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, Larry Pesavento. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back.
Volatility is key to any active trader's success. In today's market, volatility is king, and Tom O'Brien has been capitalizing on this market in both of his newsletters. For a brief 10-day period, we're opening up a 2-week free trial to both of Tom's newsletters to all listeners. Now is the perfect time to see how Tom uses volume analysis to capitalize on this trader's market with epic volatility on a daily basis. From now till August 10th only, you can sign up for a free trial to Tom O'Brien's newsletters, Market Insights, and the Gold Report, even if you've had a trial subscription previously. Usually this offer is only open to new customers, but we're so excited about the current market and the opportunities presented that we're opening up this offer to all returning customers as well for 10 days only. As a trader, now is the perfect time to act. Log on to tfnn.com today and you'll see a link directly on the front page for your 2-week free trial. Don't miss out on this one-of-a-kind opportunity in this one-of-a-kind market. Act today.
Win free silver all summer long during our Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway.
We have Earl Bush on the line, the winner of today's Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway from Palm Harbor. Earl Bush, how are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. So your day, I assume, is made now that you've heard that you've won a great silver coin?
Oh, yeah. Probably the best trade I've made all week.
All right. Well, that's great. You've been a listener to TFNN. You're familiar with TFNN.com and Tom O'Brien, all that good stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a dinner, and I'm into this every day.
Starting Tuesday, June 21st through Labor Day, TFNN will hold a drawing once a day, 5 days a week, business days only. One lucky entrant will receive one of these beautiful coins. Winning one of these extraordinary coins could not be easier. There's no contest and no gimmicks. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for more information. Win free silver all summer long during our Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading in the gold market. If you're an investor in gold or any of the gold mining equities, this newsletter is an essential tool that can help you become a better trader in the gold market. The Gold Report comes out every Monday with complete coverage of the entire gold market, including the XAU, HUI, the dollar, the bond, the rand, as well as more than 35 different mining equities. For the low price of $150, you will receive 13 weeks of the Gold Report, or you can order up to a full year for under $500. If you'd like to find out more about the Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com, or for more information, call our office at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
So when I made the 40 grand, the market didn't move that day. It was up, down, and around, just like this. Welcome back, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. Dow right now is off 276. NASDAQ is down 56. 58. S&Ps are off 28. And, Steve and I were just talking, bottom line, it got to the 618 when he was talking about Larry, right?
Yeah, and if you folks just go to Tiger TV, Channel 1, you'll see my screen up there, and you'll see how the diamonds came all the way back to the point 618, and which is in the 108 area or what have you. And and have taken off from there. Not with volume, but that's the first area where it stops.
Oh yeah,
and an easy place to go ahead and put a trade on.
And they couldn't break it down with volume. See, that's the key too. And the correlation. If I just put up the SPY, folks, and you'll see that same bar that I was talking about. That's the bar that stopped it dead in its tracks. It was the bar at 1420 yesterday. The high of that bar was 113.81. It did 54 million shares, and bottom line, it came into that bar with 19.6 million.
Yeah.
So, and the reason that bar is so important too, by the way, folks, is that when you look at the other bar on the other side at 1510, the bar at 1510 is telling you that you're going all the way up to 121.40. That's how that works.
Yeah. And if you're trading the diamonds, folks, what you want to take a look at, you'll start feeling more comfortable when we get above the 114.52. And again, I'm just looking at it on a 10-minute chart, but that's where we had the last, big volume come into it. And and expect that the first time that we get up there, and we were pretty close yesterday, expect a little turbulence. you know, unless you start seeing some big volume as you're coming into that part. Usually you get up there and there's some turbulence. You got people that are in there that are just looking to get their money back.
Right.
You know, and that's which is just typical. You know, like we were talking about the psychological emotions that, you know, that a person goes through, that a trader goes through. Right. You know, and I'm serious. I know that there were folks that, you know, last night were wondering why they didn't get in the market, maybe, you know, didn't take, you know, any one of our trades that we might have put out there, what have you. And, you know, and then, of course, this morning you wake up and you get the market pull back, which is really what you want.
And you get another shot. That's right. And listen, folks, if you are trading this market intraday, what you want to remember is this. The technique that you want to use, because this volatility is not going to stop, is every time that you're in, you scale in on the bottoms, right? As you're going back up, bring those stops all the way up, and you want to be taken out. You get them taken out, but you start all over again. And you can actually have, in a market like this, you can have a flat market, folks, and do very well. You'd be really surprised. But you have to do that on a continual basis. Let's go to Rick in Longwood. Hey, Rick, what's going on?
Oh, I'm having a great day.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
And what you said is exactly what I'm doing. I took, incidentally, Steve, I'm a week-old new subscriber here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for that, Rick. I appreciate it.
I'm having a blast, and I'm enjoying your emails and videos. Good. I took a third position in the Qs yesterday, and I'm out in the red a little bit, of course. Yeah. And I'm looking to add to it, and I'm looking at the 1 minute, 4-hour spread intraday, looking for a nice little reverse head and shoulders, or looking for something to give me a sign there, you know, to add to.
You just had it.
I just had it?
Yeah, the one we just gone over the whole time.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and we came up on the green, now we're coming down a little bit.
Well, that 70, you know, and you've got the Q, is it the Qs or the QLD that you were?
QLD.
Yeah. So the QLD, when it was at that 70.26 area, and right now it's just at 71.39, you know, that was really your first Q. You know, that you could add to it. You know, it's always possible that could have pulled. Look, the markets can do anything they want. You know, unfortunately, Tom and I, we read the tea leaves as we see them right now, but the markets have a mind of their own. And so, but, you know, and even in the case of the QLD, it could have come back to that 68.85 area, which would have been just fine. Just a normal 0.786 would have been testing the bottom from 1450, what's that, 250 yesterday afternoon. You know, and that would have been nice too. But the 70.26 is trading at 71 right now. You know, it's a good place to add something.
It's not bad, I mean.
Okay. Hey, thanks, guys.
Okay, have a great one, man. Have a safe one. It's Steve Rhodes. It's Tom O'Brien. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. We're coming right back.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Studies show that 10,000 hours is what it takes to achieve outstanding results, unless you use the power of leverage. The power of leverage, folks, is key to attaining outstanding success in your trading and investing. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, and author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter. Let me take your trading to a new level, a whole new level. Let me teach you the secrets that the real money masters use each and every day to produce consistent financial results. On top of that, I'll transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. You'll overcome hurdles like an Olympian. Here's the beauty. I'm so certain that I'll transform your life. I'm giving you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Time, folks. Something you'll never get back. The time is now to take action. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and order Mastering Probability. It'll change your life forever. At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650. I should get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you know, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Back, folks, this is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We have the Dow right now down 303, NASDAQ off 62, S&P's off 30. So the Dow came back about $100. You had the composite come back 40, S&P's... let's see, what are the SPX? Where were we at here? The S&P come back. The S&P came back 20. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, you know, what's interesting. You got stopped out of the yen trade earlier this morning.
Okay.
You know, it came back by more than the 50 pip spread that I had in there.
Yeah.
But it's coming all the way back to its lows that it put in back in August 1st. So, you know, I'll put
76.25.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. So, you know, I'll put the trade back on here shortly.
Okay.
And you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens because I mean, this is a currency war.
Yeah.
You know, and the Japanese cannot afford for the in the world cannot afford for the yen to continue to get stronger.
Well, the thing that's so bizarre about that, and folks, this is what's really wild, is that the Japanese have larger debt than we do, and yet they have a stronger currency. So it's funny how when you hear that, okay, if you get a larger debt, your currency is done. Well, that's not the case, and it's showing it right there.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Let's go to Kevin in Marina Del Rey. Hey, Kevin, you're up early this morning. How you doing?
Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
Good, thank you.
Hey, you know, I saw you guys were just talking about the possible collapse of the dollar or something. What do you do if you have, you know, cash? Do you go out and buy gold or something?
Well, I'm not talking about the collapse of the dollar.
Well, you know, Larry mentioned it.
Okay, that's then you have to ask Larry. I'm a dollar bull.
All right.
I'm a dollar bull, and the reason being is this. You know, it's interesting. I heard Ron Paul this morning on CNBC, and you know he's saying that the United States is going to collapse, the dollar is going to collapse, and when you hear that, Kevin, right? What you have to, what I would say to myself is that okay, then what is the currency that's going to be out there? Okay. Okay, so are the Chinese going to take over the world? Is it going to be the yuan?
No.
Is it going to be the euro? Is it going to be Europe? So what would you think? I'm asking you.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the Chinese.
The Chinese? The Chinese have nothing, man. The Chinese they're still in the communism. You know what this is like, folks? The Chinese, the people are absolutely dynamite, but they're still under constraints that are absolutely incredible, okay? The Chinese, you can't have a world power and have slavery.
Right.
And that's what they have.
No, absolutely. You know, like I've spent a bunch of time over there. And because, Kevin, I used to have a business, and I would be importing all of my product from China.
Right.
You know, in fact, I tried buying the same product in the U.S., and it cost me 10 times as much.
10 times.
10 times.
Right.
I'm dead serious.
Sure, yeah.
And there was no possible way to actually do business like that. And so, and I would go over there, and like Tom was saying, the people are beautiful.
Right.
I've never seen people that had so little but were so happy.
Right.
Which is just, I mean, just the happiest and the kindest people. But when you got beyond the people, into the business folks and into the government folks, it was a whole nother ruthless thing.
Right.
And it is not a free world over there. It's not even close to a free world over there. In fact, the way that I watch people being treated over there, if I wasn't in a communist country, and I'm not necessarily, I'm not looking to pick a fight. I'm not going to back down, but I'm not looking to pick a fight.
Right.
You would have wanted to beat people up for just simply the way that they were treating just common folks, workers or what have you.
So, Kevin, let me, and if we go back to your question, I understand your question, too, that what, if in fact there would be a collapse, what do you do? If you believe,
do you buy gold or something?
Well, let me, you happen to live in Marina Del Rey, okay?
Okay.
So, if you've never been to Marina Del Rey, folks, it's beautiful, number one. So I would say to you, I'd say to everyone out there, if you actually think that's going to happen, unfortunately what you'd have to do is go get a couple M16s, go get a bunch of food. I'm absolutely not kidding, because the fact of the matter is you don't have to worry about economies, you don't have to worry about anything. What you have to worry about is that who's going to kill who to go get the food. So, there's people that are, I have friends that are in that deal, okay, and that's all right, but that's the deal there is. There's no, if that's going to happen, there's not going to be money made anywhere.
Well, and Kevin, just out of curiosity, how long have you lived out there?
About 15 years.
Okay, so in your 15-year period of time of just living out there, where have people, with the exception of like the last 3 years, where have they made their most amount of money? Real estate, right? I mean, haven't you seen in the 15-year period that you were out there, real estate go from X to X? I mean,
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, in California, between California, New York and the East Coast, the bigger cities, but California especially, you have some huge acceleration into real estate.
Right.
So if you were sitting on excess cash, what you really should be considering doing is taking a look at some real estate in California. Because, in the next 15 years, less than that period of time, you'll make more money off of real estate likely in California than you will in Florida, unless you're right here, on the intercoastal, on the waterway or something like that, the Gulf or what have you. Interior, you're not going to make it. But in California, you can make it in the interior.
And, and then the bottom line is that we're a country a country of mongrels, number one. So you get all immigrants, you get great ideas. They've got kicked down to the gutter a million times. You just keep getting back up. This whole selling fear deal is easy to sell. And, every day I come in, I hear these commercials. It's like, oh, my God, this is the end of the world. And you know what? The world doesn't end, man.
Yeah. Look, we're not against having gold or silver in your portfolio.
No,
we have business for it, and you should. And you should have it, and it should be just tucked away, and, you just have it there for... just as part of your
as an
portfolio.
Insurance policy.
That's right. And whether it's junk silver, if you want to do that, and have that as a little insurance policy. You probably have insurance. You got health insurance and homeowners insurance and life insurance perhaps. So you might as well have some gold or silver insurance too. But as far as I'm in Tom's camp as well. When you just take a look at the charts on the dollar index, even though it's going up and down and retracing, I take a look at it. It's just coming up against some support levels,
right?
On a continuous basis here.
And we're already gone to hell and back. So hell's already happened.
Do you think gold and silver is going to continue up from here, or do you think it's come down a little bit?
Well, it can come down a little bit. I think on a longer-term basis, though, you still, things aren't going to change. We're after this 2-3 years, inflation's going to come in. It has to come in because that's the only way you can get rid of debt. So think about it. I used to buy my mother milk, bread, and cigarettes. It used to cost $1. Now it's $15. 40 years from now, it's going to be $150. So, yeah, it has to go up. Cooking, brother. We'll be right back, folks.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to tigermetalexchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to tigermetalexchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to tigermetalexchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
You've heard Bud Rolfs give his expert technical analysis of the stock market on the radio. Now you can have his superior trading advice and his best stock picks delivered right to your desktop every week with his newsletter, The Torch. Using his own trademarked Warpath trading system, Bud will help you to increase your odds of making and saving money in the markets with powerful stock selection, stock analysis, and trading plan strategies. Published every Monday morning, each issue of The Torch features full-color charts in an easy-to-follow format. You will also receive not only the big picture of what's going on in the major markets and critical sectors, but also featured stock picks with complete trading plans and technical setups, as well as the Subscribers Corner, where Bud analyzes stocks submitted by subscribers. Visit TFNN.com today and receive your 2-week free trial of The Torch. That's a $75 value. Sign up now and make sure you receive all the great market analysis and winning trade ideas in every action-packed issue of The Torch from Bud Rolfs.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
Welcome back, folks. We have the Dow down 429, Nasdaq's off 86, S&Ps are off 45, and we were just talking about, we had Rick from Longwood call, and on that QLD, folks, it gets interesting. If you want to see just how strong the tech is versus the market in general, well, bottom line is that you can see that the Dow Industrials is at its lows. The QLD still can't get back to the last time it was down there. So it's going to get interesting. Well, actually, the low 69.77 here at 70.13, but that's what you're looking for when you're setting up trades.
Absolutely,
too.
Absolutely.
So the test over and over and over. Now let's go take a look at it. It's too early volume-wise to take a look at it, but We're at 569 on the NYSE, and you're at 977 on the NASDAQ. And that's not going to be enough, because most of the heavy numbers come in, you know, the first hour, and then the last hour, no doubt. We're talking some heavy numbers, but we'll see where that shake, rattles, and rolls. Volatility, though, is here.
So what's going on around the world?
Oh, yes, absolutely, man. So what you had is this, okay, we have the FTSE was positive. Now, I'll bring the FTSE up, and you'll see what's happening here, and this is important to understand, too. So the FTSE got to a 52.62 today. Now you're at 5,051. That level, though, is doing the same as we're doing, is you're going to see, in fact, oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Here, I'm actually bringing this up, and let's just because this is going to be a slight retracement. Look at that, about the 50% retracement.
Right.
From the lows. What the FTSE did, folks, is that intraday thus far, it did a 50% retracement from the lows. If we look at the DAX, and we take a look at the DAX as to what the DAX has done, oh, the DAX went and tested it. It is. Look at that. That's interesting. 55.02. Well, no, you got the 55.49. But Europe, no doubt, is, you know, getting some solid pressure out there. CAC Corona is down 30, and I guess most of this, a lot of this has to do with the banking structure over there.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah. So now when you're taking a look yourself, when you're taking a look at some of the world indexes, okay, right, you take a look at the DAX and so forth, and you see it close at the lows. Right. How does that factor into any of your decision making with regard to our markets and what you think might take place? You know, based on, let's say our markets were also trading lower during the day, and you see the DAX closes at lows or what have you, or
it's dangerous. Okay. It's dangerous. The DAX, no doubt, the last week telegraphed every day that, hey, there's a problem. What the DAX did was amazing, folks. The DAX had that flash crash. Right. The DAX telegraphed that, hey, there's big problems. Now, they saved it. That was the beginning of last week. But every single day, the DAX was the one that was nailing it. Yeah. And what this is going to be all about, folks, the reason that the DAX was the one is that the Germans have lent everyone else in Europe. Their banks are exposed more than anyone else. They have lent the money out, and they're not going to get it back. You know, and see, that's the thing. Every time that I'm asked about whether it's the dollar and the collapse in the dollar, I say, who is going to do it? Sure. There's no one else out there. Sure. You know, if you want to go to Europe, great. Go to the Amalfi Coast, drink some wine, have a blast, go get a big cruising yacht. It's gorgeous, folks. It's absolutely unbelievable. And Italy has, no doubt, some of the best mechanical and industrial equipment you'll ever see. Yeah. If you like cooking, folks, it's amazing. Yeah. Because you go out in the middle of, you can go out in the middle of the country. Beautiful. And these little family cafes, they have such sophistication in their equipment. It's just, oh, I love seeing it.
Yeah. Well, even in my business, the last one, you know, we were buying our equipment from Germany. You know, it was really well-made equipment. Right. You know, and this was really high-tech laser equipment, and they made some of the best stuff. But part of the problem was just simply the work ethic of the folks over there. You know, during the summertime, you try getting somebody after 12 noon on a Friday. Time. Oh, not around. It's just not the same as the U.S.
No, it's, and you know what you don't hear, folks, is that we can talk about this another time. But security-wise, if you have money in Germany, you need big guards at your house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. We got our man, Mr. Basil Chaplin, coming up next. Dow is down 373, Nasdaq 76, S&P's 38.
Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade.